Not every rich person got there the same way. Some were born into it, some built it, some stumbled into it by accident, and some quietly built it without anyone ever noticing. Here are the 10 types of wealthy people, and what actually makes each one different. 1. Old money. Old money refers to families whose wealth has been passed down through multiple generations. These are not people who earned their fortune, they were simply born into it. Families like the Rockefellers, the Vanderbilts, and the Mellons are classic examples. Old money tends to be quiet and understated. These families rarely show off their wealth. Instead, they invest in things that last: land, fine art, private education, and long-standing businesses. Their wealth is not measured in what they spend, it is measured in what they preserve. The goal is always the same: to pass even more on to the next generation than they received. 2. New money. New money refers to people who earned their wealth within their own lifetime. They built it themselves from scratch. Tech billionaires, entertainers, entrepreneurs who grew up with nothing and turned a single idea into a fortune. New money is often more visible than old money. The mansions, the cars, the lifestyle tend to be on full display. This is not always arrogance. It is often the natural result of experiencing real wealth for the very first time. Roughly 68% of the world's ultra-wealthy today are self-made. New money has quietly become the dominant type of rich person on the planet. 3. The tech rich. The tech rich are a specific kind of new money that emerged mostly in the last 3 decades. These are the founders, the coders, the engineers who built companies that changed how the world works. What makes them different is the speed. A startup launched in a garage could be worth billions within just a few years. Companies like Google, Amazon, and Facebook created some of the largest fortunes in human history, and they did it faster than any oil baron or railroad tycoon before them. The tech rich tend to live modestly compared to their net worth, often still wearing plain clothes and driving ordinary cars while quietly owning everything. 4. The real estate rich. Real estate wealth is one of the oldest and most reliable ways to get rich. These are people who built their fortunes by buying, developing, and holding property. What separates them from other wealthy people is patience. They think in decades, not years. They understand that land is one of the few things in the world that cannot be manufactured or duplicated. Some started with a single small property, rented it out, and used that income to buy another one. Over time, that process compounds into enormous wealth. Real estate consistently ranks as one of the top 3 industries among the world's ultra-wealthy. 5. The celebrity rich. Celebrities, musicians, actors, and entertainers represent a type of wealth uniquely tied to fame. Their income often comes in large, sudden bursts rather than slow, steady accumulation. A single hit album, a blockbuster film, or a viral moment can generate millions almost overnight. But what separates the truly wealthy celebrities from those who go broke is what they do next. The smartest ones used their fame as a launching pad to build businesses. Rihanna's Fenty Beauty brand became worth more than her entire music catalog. For the celebrity rich, fame is not the destination, it is the starting capital. 6. The athlete rich. Professional athletes earn their wealth through contracts, endorsements, and for the smartest ones, business investments. What makes this type of wealth unique is its urgency. An athlete's career is short, often just 10 to 15 years of peak earning potential. That reality forces many athletes to think about wealth differently than most people. LeBron James understood this early. Long before retirement, he built a business portfolio in media, food, and entertainment that made him far wealthier than his basketball contracts ever did. The athletes who build lasting wealth treat their playing career as a salary and build something else on the side. 7. The investor rich. The investor rich built their fortunes not by creating a product or service, but by putting their money to work in financial markets. stocks, bonds, private equity. These are their tools. Warren Buffett is the most well-known example. A man who never invented a product, but became one of the richest people in history simply by identifying great businesses and holding them for decades. What makes investor wealth different is that it is almost entirely invisible in the early stages. The investor rich often live quietly for years, while their wealth silently compounds in the background. And then one day the numbers become impossible to ignore. 8. The crypto rich. Cryptocurrency created an entirely new category of wealthy person almost overnight. These are people who bought Bitcoin early, sometimes for just a few $100s, and held on long enough to see those investments multiply by thousands. What makes crypto wealth different is how fast it appeared and how volatile it remains. Fortunes built in decades through real estate were built in months in crypto, and in some cases lost just as quickly. 9. The Inheritor. The inheritor didn't grow up in a dynasty. They received a large inheritance, and that single transfer of wealth changed the course of their life. Some grow what they received. Others spend it quickly, unprepared for the responsibility. Studies show a significant portion of large inheritances are gone within a few years. Managing wealth is a skill, and it is not automatically passed down with the money. 10. The quiet rich. The quiet rich may be the most surprising type of all. Teachers, mechanics, accountants, small business owners who spent decades quietly saving and investing and ended up with more than anyone around them ever knew. They drive used cars. They live in modest homes. They bring lunch from home. But their investment accounts tell a completely different story. A study of over 225 millionaires found the most common type was the saver investor, someone who simply made saving a daily habit for 30 or more years. The least visible type of rich person, and one of the most common. 10 types, 10 paths. Some were born into it. Some built it fast. Some built it so quietly nobody noticed until it was done. But every single one of them started somewhere. The only question is, which type are you building toward? Subscribe for more videos that explain money the way nobody else will.